All right. Good evening. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Let's do a quick audio check here. Can you guys let me know if everything is fine? What's up, Richies? What's up, Tomif? Nabula, brother, how are you doing? We've got the Sachi in the house as well. Elia. What's up, man? Good to see you guys. Quite a week, right? We had quite a week. Loads of volatility. Some really good trades across the board. But it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Bitcoin is going to go for the lows or if we're going to be seeing some upside again. So how was your weekend? Anything spectacular happened or just chilling? It was actually good weather for once in the Netherlands. So we just had, I spent some quality time with the fam. Bear market vibes. I mean, yeah, bro. Thing is, like, from a structural standpoint, if we were to just quick peek here on the daily, like, everybody got extremely euphoric right here, right there, and right there. But 3-month distribution, break away from value, retested as resistance, and now we're auctioning back towards the lows, and everybody's fucking surprised. Like, come on now. What's up, Vertical? Hope you well, man. Good food over the weekend. Okay, guys, chat. Let me know what's your favorite food. If you need comfort food, let's say, I know it's bear market, then we are all eating ramen noodles, right? But what's your comfort food? I want to know. For me, it's got to be like a biryani, like lamb biryani. That's, with a nice buttered chicken alongside something like that. I think Indian food slaps, bro. Biryani is bro, that's the goat for me. Tacos. Iranian dish. Alright, sounds good. Stampot. Represent, maat. Stampot, lekker. Met spek. Did you try Halim? No, I didn't, man. I need to try that out. But I love it. Indian food, I love it, bro. Especially if it's spicy. Are we fading this naked point of control or not? To be honest, not yet. I don't see anything of interest here. In fact, if before we start off the stream, like this is a that's a poor low. Like it's even a 3Y poor low. And to be honest, I thought maybe we even revisit this naked point of control. But we'll see. We'll have a crack on it to see where's Bitcoin and what can we start trading. Wait. Lentil stew with meat, slow cooked with spices and some rice. Slap so hard. Bro, I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. I am hungry. So it's going to be a short stream because I need to cook some of this food, man. Damn. Tomif likes meat. Just meat? You like just, sausage or something else? No Chinese. I didn't have any Chinese, bro. No. Today is going to be a smooth ride. My viewers all-time high. Well, like you mean during a stream or like live viewers all-time high? I don't know. We genuinely have like 50 peeps. We don't really have like a lot of people watching during the streams. Like I'm a relatively small man. I mean, I'm trying to grow the channel, but it's hard for me on YouTube. I think it's mainly because the things that I use within my streams are not necessarily known, as in I'm not a moving average trader, or I think a lot of people when they see me opening up Sierra chart, they're like, oh no, I'm gone, right? Because they don't really understand how we can get an edge from this or whatever. So I think it's purely based on that. Honestly, I think if I would do like a basic price action stream where I would be like, we've got a weekly order block right here, we've got a bearish, weekly bearish order block right there, just show you the ins and outs of price action, we'll probably rack in more views, but it wouldn't be as precise as we're currently doing. Oh yeah, I'm probably that. I don't really post crazy targets, right? I just give you a plan for the week, so you know where to trade, when and where to trade. Anyways, it's a good introduction. Curry is GOAT, 100%, bro. I mean, I like spices. Spices. It's all good. You need to promise 1,000x strategies. Maybe I will, bro. Like, listen, if it helps me. No, I've never done that shit, so you will not see it from me. You know, the title alone for this stream, it took me like an hour to come up with something. I just can't do it, man. It's so cringe. Strategic Bitcoin reserve, where to buy? Like, you know, we're going to be selling. We're not going to be buying. I thought you like chicken butter masala, bro. Of course, man. Of course, chicken butter masala, tikka masala. I like the masala with the spinach in it, like the green curry. You know, basically anything, bro. But it's good to see you, man. It's been a while, indeed. It's been a while. So let's get cracking. We've got some nice levels to work with. I'm going to be keeping it straight. Today's stream is going to be, you know, 100% to the targets, and I'm not going to be beating around the bush for that. What I do want to mention here is that, as you can see in the bottom right corner, my streams are sponsored by Bybit. If you do want to support the channel in any way, you can sign up using my referral link. By them, it will give you a VIP bonus, and in terms of your fees, right? And it will also allow you to have access to all of my indicators. So if you join the Discord, you will see a link with the indicators. You will know how much volume you will need to trade on it, and that's basically free for you to join. So just a way to thank me. If you're not, want to be using Bybit, that's totally fine with me as well. So with that being said, let's take a look at CRI chart first, because we are seeing Generation X is asking, do we have a 4-month composite market profile already? No, we do not. We do not. So opening up CRI chart here. And as you guys know, I will be starting off with this layout. If you're new to the channel, left upper corner is going to be simple daily profiles. Upper right corner is going to be a weekly profile. Then we've got the monthly profiles. And right here, this is basically the same as this chart, but I'm using it for composites, okay? If you're overwhelmed by this, don't click away or whatever. Just go through it, listen to me. And at the end of this stream, I will have all of the important levels on a single chart, so you can just chart along or trade along with it. First things first, the daily. Honestly, if I zoom in here, right here, we had, yesterday, the thing is, I usually don't really pay too much attention on Sunday and Saturday in terms of TPO profiles, because the volume is so skewed. It's not really there, to be honest. So oftentimes during the weekend, you will have like a really tiny profile. And today is like an anomaly because we've got some guy or fund or whoever it is T-wapping the fuck out of Binance, where it's, he's getting the fuck out. That is why we're getting this sell pressure here in a liquid market, easy to move. I don't know why they're getting out. Maybe they know something, maybe they don't. But, doesn't really look like a solid plan to me, to be honest. But the thing that I want to be aware of in TPO is, if we take a look at the above, we had 1, 2, 3 days where we essentially had a value overlap. Now, what do we do when we've got value overlap? We merge those 3 days together to give us a composite, because when we're using TPO, while I think single daily profiles are good to determine, all right, we got an anchor point there, we've got one here, we got another one there, right? To spot basically the anomalies, so we know, all right, that's going to be a destination instead of a location where I want to be looking for trades. I mainly want to be using composites to know if we've got a 3-day composite like we currently have and we start trading below, that's bearish, because that's an indication that value is slowly migrating lower, right? The market is accepting lower prices. It's getting cheaper and they're accepting it, right? If it would have been bullish, they would say, all right, well, we're getting a discount, I'm buying it back, right? Because it seems to me that this is a discount. And at that point, we would have a deviation below the composite that will be bullish for a move towards the highs, but we're not getting it, right? So value is slowly dribbling lower. It's migrating lower. There's no real genuine interest here in buying Bitcoin. They are agreeing on lower prices. Hence, it's bearish, okay? In terms of anomalies, I'd say right here, let me zoom in a bit more for you guys. Right there, we've got like 1, 2, 3 TPO prints next to each other. If you'll see me talking about poor low, then this is what I refer to, right? This is a poor low. If we were to look at this on a 50-minute chart, for example, or whatever, right? It will basically look like this, right? We auction lower, we trade lower, one low, one other low, right? And then another low, basically this. Now, if you're a price action trader, what are you anticipating when you see a structure like that? You are anticipating one final drive lower to take out some stops from retarded traders that have their stop below the equal lows, reclaim, market structure break, maybe a bullish breaker, whatever you want, right? If you're an ICT trader, bullish breaker, get long, higher. But as long as we've got these poor lows, it's a shitty location to be entering fresh longs, right? Because we think, we can expect it to be taking out once more. Yeah, of course, Greg, it will be possible to get my CR chart book. Sure thing, man. So honestly, naked point of control there, poor low, seems good for some more downside. But before we jump into conclusions, let's take a look at the chart. Take a look at the rest of the charts. Top right, let's zoom in. The grayed out area is the value area from previous week. What Bitcoin did early on in the week, this is where we see that small green. I will show you my entry model later on in the stream, Harsh, when we do like the trade hypos for next week. So do you see that green dot here? That's where we have the weekly open. The week opened up. This area right here, this grayed out line, that's the 8-week value area low. In other words, if we accept back within the 8-week composite and we trade below it, then what is it going to be when we revisit this area? Do you guys, you guys always see me talking about time and space. What's time and space? What is acceptance? This right here is acceptance. Do you see the gap? This gap here, where we auction away from the value area low, then we retest it. That's acceptance below the 8-week value area low, bearish. Okay. So that was a really good short. And besides that, Bitcoin isn't able to accept back above that previous week value, right? We are trading right here, failing to hold it as support. This would have been bullish, right? Acceptance above. This should have been support. However, when we don't hold a support, it becomes resistance, right? And then we can target the opposite extreme towards the value area low. One thing that I want to point out here, heading into next week, if today closes like this, we will have value overlap from this week and the previous week, which means I'll be adding it, right click, merge with next profile. That will mean that we'll have a new 2-week composite, which means that I will have to adjust my value like that. And let's expand it, right? Let's say that we have a weekly close like this. Zoom in again. This value area becomes important because if we are unable to accept back above, we're likely to revisit the lows. If we take out the lows and we reclaim the value low from the previous 2 weeks, I'm expecting a move higher towards at least these highs and potentially back into 90K. But we'll see how that develops. Then we have the monthly. Again, monthly really clean. Let me just highlight this on a bigger screen because you can't really see what's happening. Let's open it up. So right here, it's funny, right? This composite that we're seeing here, do you know what that is? If you go back towards the regular chart here, daily, height, that's basically this. So this range right there is represented as a value area that looks like this. Now, we opened up the month below a 3-month composite value area low. So what is this expected to be? One big ass resistance, right? So the moment we start trading towards it, right here, it's bearish, right? If we're not getting acceptance below or above the 3-month composite value area low, it's a bearish interaction here. Acceptance below again, right? Do you guys see this? The gap, this gap. I can color it. This entire gap. That's what we call time and space between a retest, short invalidation above the high. There we go. Okay. So monthly bearish. If I were to do like a brief summary here, I'd say, based on the current development right here with the 3-day composite, we're now auctioning below. We've got a poor low intraday. We've got a naked point control. My bias is kind of down where I'm like, I think we're going to be rebalancing this naked point of control. And then it either needs to be holding a support or going to go way lower. All right. But there are some other things that we need to take into account, which is VWAP and especially the yearly, quarterly, monthly, and the weekly. But before we head over towards VWAP, is everything clear that we've outlined so far. If you have questions regarding what I've just covered in terms of TPO, let me know in the chat and I'll cover your question at the end of the stream, okay? So let's move forward. Pulling up the VWAP chart. Not this chart yet. This chart right here. I'm currently flat, buddy. So I don't have like a, you're referring to the 3-day composite value low here, right? This day right here. I have the tendency to not really look at the charts during the weekend because I'm a father of 2. So this is Friday, right? So this means on Saturday, I'm making croissants for my kids and I'm playing outside and I'm getting some, I'm actually touching grass with them. And then on Sunday, I'm doing the same thing. So, unfortunately, sometimes that will, cause me to miss a move, but I've learned from, things that I shouldn't do, and that's stay behind the charts 24/7. It just doesn't work for me. All right, naked point controls. Yes, let me just write it down. 1 second. Naked point controls. Naked point controls. Okay, I'll be covering that. Triggers, same as yours. My levels are a bit different. TPO trading view. Trading views is kind of ass on TPO, bro. I'll be honest. And the reason why we have different values is because we have different tick sizes. Naked point control. Yo, what's up, Panas? Hope you well, man. Okay, so that's that. Naked point controls. Great question. Moving towards VWAP. For those of you who are new, once again, the top left is always yearly value. That doesn't mean I'm using a yearly time frame on the candlesticks. It means that the calculation for this VWAP is the developing year and the previous year, all right, on the daily chart. Right side, we've got quarterly. Then we have monthly. I use Coinbase because the ETF flows are going through Coinbase. And I think Coinbase is the most relevant one. I think it doesn't really make sense to use any perp either, like Bybit perp or Binance perp. I think Coinbase is the way to go, okay? And the reason, I'll show you that in a bit, weekly, okay? So if you take a look on the weekly, so to answer your question briefly about why I'm using Coinbase, take a look at the interaction here. This is previous week value area high. Do you see that? That's to the tick. That's what I call precision. It's not guessing or whatever. It's not determining, do I need to have that structure or this structure or whatever? No, it's this. The previous week value area high, right? That's your bearish line in the sand. And it's a custom indicator, belly. You can, if you go towards this website, primetrading.ai, right here, you can check all about it, okay? Moving back towards the analysis right here. What is the yearly telling us? The yearly is telling us that right here, when we were trading up here, we were also always talking about in Discord, like, we're going to be revisiting it likely, but when, I don't really know. But I didn't expect it to be this swift, like 1, 2, 3, 5 days, and we're already right here at 79K. I personally think that if Bitcoin is bullish for the remainder of the year, let's say that we got like a shitty Q1, and then we've got some upside in Q2. I genuinely think that the upper half here needs to hold. We can wick into it, for example, one last wick below this low, but on a closing basis, for example, a 3-day chart or a weekly chart, I need to see it close above, because if we don't really do that, it's going to be signaling a shifting condition. Let's see, line in the sand. All right, and I noted that, man. Razo, I annotated that. So yearly is looking good as long as previous year value area high holds the support right there. Then we've got the quarterly. Oh, by the way, you can, you don't have to make an account here. You can also just join the Discord. I will send it in the comments below once I'm done, and you can just trade on the Bybit referral, and you'll get access to the indicators, right? You can do hyperliquid as well, whatever you guys want. So the quarterly here. The quarterly value area high, this was funny on Twitter as well, where I said, as long as we can't really reclaim this, and I'm going to be covering your question about what's the bearish line in the sand right away, Razo, because the bearish line in the sand or bullish line in the sand is basically an invalidation for my thesis. So during a prep every day, when I make my prep for the trading day ahead, I'm like, all right, my bias for the day is bearish. I want to short at whatever your preference is. If you're a moving average trader, by all means use that. If you're a price action trader, do that, whatever works for you. However, I tend to have like a bullish and a bearish line in the sand because I don't want to be the guy that's like, if this is my bearish line in the sand, BL, right? I know that once we start to accept above that level, I no longer am looking for shorts, because too many times back in the day, I used to be the guy that was like, all right, well, we're spiking above this high. Whilst we were trading above my bearish line in the sand, right? Let's short it. No, filled. Oh, one more attempt, short it, filled. Oh, one more attempt, short it, filled. So, it doesn't really make sense. You need to have like a structure where like, okay, I'm kind of bullish. Where am I wrong on my idea? And if we're trading below or above, for that matter, I need to be, it's flat on the day. Like, I don't need to be trying to fade the direction. Okay, make sense? So quarterly, in this case, zoom in again, is failing to hold above previous quarterly value high. So this was our bearish line in the sand for a while. Our bullish line in the sand was that previous quarterly VWAP, right? I said, we shouldn't really be closing on this on a higher time frame basis. But now that we're getting this messy price action through the level, I am neglecting it and I'm moving more towards a monthly approach, which I will show you guys in a bit. But this goes to show that it is good to have like a validation or an invalidation with your trading. So the quarterly, honestly, quarterly is looking dog shit. Where if we can't reclaim this previous quarterly VWAP ASAP, it is likely to become resistance for another rotation lower, value area low. Because let's ignore all of the emotions where we're all like, oh, we should go higher, or Bitcoin can't really go lower because Trump is buying, or USA or whatever. And let's just only focus on value. What is the market at this point telling us? It is telling us, one, we're failing to close back above previous quarterly value area high. Bearish. Number two, initial strong reaction from the previous quarter VWAP. That's good. However, full retracement. And now we're kind of compressing here at that level. So could we get continuation lower, right? Purely one of the laws of market dynamics is that when we have previous value and we accept backward in value, like we did right here, the first location is going to be point of control, like we did right here. And then once we lose point of control, it's going to be value area low right here. And another thing to take note of on the quarterly is that once this month closes within what is it, 20 days or whatever, we've got 3 weeks left, or 2.5. We will have new previous quarterly value right here. So this is then going to be big resistance again. Okay, so very important to take note of. Monthly, bottom right. It was looking good early on in the week. I think I tweeted about it as well, where I'm like, all right, well, the best case for longs here is if we're sweeping this gap right here, and then in Discord I said, well, we've got another gap here. I'm thinking that we're sweeping the lows, close back within for a move back towards the VWAP, and then potentially even this high, right? The fact that we had a high volume bar here, let me show you, with a point of control at the lows, and we closed back above, and now we're back below previous month value low. Bro, what the fuck? Like this is weak, right? Really weak. Because if there was continuation and enough demand, this should have been the low for a move towards the highs. But now that we're trading below, this is big resistance again, okay? Then moving on to the weekly. Honestly, this week, the weekly has been trading really nice. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, I can do that. All right. So the weekly has been trading really nice. Annotations. And let's go back to the Harsh ask about my entry model. My entry model is basically you guys see the blue and the red bars. It's basically high volume bars with a point of control plotted throughout time. So for me, it's like really simple. Whenever we trade around a contextual level, whether that's going to be a composite based on TPO or VWAP from the quarterly, yearly, monthly, whatever, and we form a high volume rejection bar there and we close below the point of control, that's a bread and butter trade for me. I'm taking a short and I'm putting my stop above the high. We had the same discussion here within Discord the other week where I'm like, I think it's really good to be able to have like a foundation within price action. However, I'm seeing too many charts that are like, I'm going to be waiting for a high, then it needs to sweep the high, and then we need to have a market structure break, And then this is step 1, right? Equal highs. Step number 2, sweep the highs. Step number 3, market structure break. Number 3. Step number 4, form a fair value gap. And then step number 5, retracement. And then I'm taking shorts with a stop above the high. The issue that I have with this, and the issue, the reason why I pivoted more towards VWAP with high volume bars, some more order flow, stuff like that, is because I want to get in here. I don't have the time to be waiting for all of this shit. And usually, let's be honest, with crypto, it spikes a high and then it's see you later, right? Goes straight down. There's no time for consolidation pullback. So that is why if I'm seeing a high volume bar with a point of control around the highs and we close below, it's an indication for me that positioning on the long side is being offside. And that's usually a clue that we have enough fuel right here, right? Do you guys see the interaction with that second candle? We open up, trade higher into the positioning here that's trapped, right? Resistance, and there we go. Where do we go? To the tick. My entry is based on previous week value area high. That's my context. And my trigger is based on a high volume bar. And that's as simple as that. So if you and me would have like a drink behind the bar at the bar and you would ask me, what's your trading system? I'd say, I'll base my trade locations on VWAP. My trigger is high volume bars. That's it. Okay. So that being said, we've now covered everything. We've covered TPO. We've covered VWAP, right? The only thing that I want to highlight here once more is the rolling VWAP. Rolling VWAP, high drawings. For a trend continuation, what we need to see is a clean break back above the 30-day rolling VWAP, right? If we go towards for a 6-hour chart, maybe 6-hour chart, right? As we can see, during a trend, once we start reclaiming the 30-day rolling VWAP, it's often going to be an indication that, all right, we're shifting gears, right? It's uptime or downtime for that matter, if we're accepting it into the opposite way. So buying opportunity right there. However, things starts to change when we get the first shift below the 30-day rolling VWAP. That's going to be an indication that we're either going to be shifting trend right away, or we're getting a prolonged consolidation. And during consolidations, it is not the cleanest signal. However, if we're getting a spike above, let me just zoom in a bit more for you guys right here. If we're getting acceptance above, right, this retest should have held a support for continuation higher. The moment we start to fill and hold a support and we back test it right there, right, backside retest, resistance, another consolidation, reject it here. I think this right here was when everybody was shouting, oh, Bybit is getting hacked. Wasn't it? This high. Or maybe that high. I'm not sure. Or this high. Fucking hell. Either way, it was one of the highs that was rejecting of the 30-day rolling VWAP. So look at sentiment on Twitter. How's everybody reacting? Where are we relative to 30-day rolling VWAP? Oh, we're back to the mean. I'm going to get short. Oh, we're back to the mean. I'm going to get short. Oh, we're back to the mean. I'm going to get short. Every time people are starting to talk about we're so back. No, we're not. We're back to the rolling VWAP. Yes, that's right. But we're not back, right? From a higher time frame perspective, I am not using, well, my indicator has the band feature and not in the composite VWAP. I've made a different one, the rolling VWAP indicator for that, because otherwise there was too much code. Because with the bands indicator, we can switch between normal with lines and stuff and bands and whatever you want. So TradingView didn't allow me to put the rolling VWAP in it as well. Too many lines on for PineScript. So 2-day chart. Let's get rid of the 30 rolling VWAP real quick. Bye. No, only get rid of the 30-day. All right. I'll be honest. If we're trading at the 30-day rolling VWAP, not the 30, the 365-day, like the yearly rolling VWAP, I think at that point in time, it can be max opportunity. Similar to what we had right there, similar to what we had right here, right? Do you guys see that? I know some of you are on your mobile phones, but I hope it's visible enough for you. The thing that we need to be aware of is that from structure, we've got support. Previous all-time high is roughly around there. So it can do whatever the fuck it wants here, right? But what I want to see, let's go back to this chart. I need to see this. Build a proper range here. Build a base. Spike the low, reclaim it, right? That, this is a sign that at this point I'm accumulating, right? I need to see everybody getting desperate. Altcoins going to fucking zero. I don't think they can go to zero because they already are, right? Given by, the vibes that we see on Twitter. Like, that's bad. Either way, I think this is the scenario that I'm vouching for. But make no mistake that when there's a clean break below the yearly rolling VWAP, it's time to get the fuck out, right? It is time to get out. Because at that point is capital preservation, bro. And, you got to let the market do its thing. Because at that point, let's say that we spike it, right? Let's say from a high time frame perspective, we form a range here. We do a little bit of that, spike it, that. This would be the ideal scenario for me. However, if we start to lose this as support, let's say that we close right here. Where is that? 70K-ish, okay? 70K. Let's go back towards VWAP. 70K. 70K. That means that we're trading around right here. However, that means to me that we are accepting back within previous year value. And any pullback back into previous year value high can be considered as a shorting opportunity for a move towards the opposite extreme, 50K. So I think we genuinely need to be holding this as support for everything, right? It can do whatever it wants, but high time frame, we can do a big washout, but a closing basis above the yearly rolling VWAP, that's key. Yeah, of course you can pay crypto. You can do crypto, but you can just send me a message on Twitter. 53K on the table, boys. What's up, brother? You know the drill. 53K. But until then, 75K support. Okay. Let's take a quick peek at CME, by the way. Did we fill in the gap entirely? No, we didn't. We did fill in this gap though. Right? Did it take? We got some room here. So that's why I'm thinking maybe this. And then boom. Would have my preference. Okay. Let me just quickly catch up on the chat because I'm missing a lot. Had the same scenario for monthly. Glad to hear. All right, that's good to know. The one on Friday on the third rolling view was just... Bro, that was clean as fuck, right? 30. Where's the rolling VWAP here? Rolling VWAP. Give me the 30-day. Give me all of the goodies. Like super, super clean. For example, right here, right? On a 30-minute chart, what we have here is we've got a high volume point of control into the 30 rolling VWAP. This candle closes below, back within the range. Short. Stop above the high. No need to wait for all of this. Short it. Homework, go see how price injected this week. Yeah, but I honestly do it. Did you use daily VWAP for intraday scalping? I don't really use it anymore. But it works just as good as the weekly, to be honest. But for me, like, it's more on how I spend my time on the day. Like, I don't really take these lower time frame intraday trades anymore. I just like to size up on, some larger rotations. Probably because I'm just getting old as fuck, bro. That's probably the issue. Yo, Grant, what's up, man? We're almost at the end. Your timing is impeccable. Impeccable timing. I already have a Bybit account. I can't use the referral link. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't really know, there's a way on how you can migrate it towards my account. Let's say that you want to do it, right? Let's say that you're trading on Bybit. And you want to, you want to start using the indicators, but you don't really want to be paying anything on the website or whatever, which I can totally understand. What you can do is you can go to my referral link, click on it, make a new account. Then you can go back into the account that you did your know your customer with, and you can simply migrate your know your customer to the new account. It takes like 2 minutes. So you only have to do is like make a new account on my link, and then you migrate your old know your customer to your new account, and that's it. You only have to start trading, and then once volume is reached, you can just start use the indicators and get into the group. We can definitely look into that, yeah. But for example, for high volume, are you referring to like the composite indicator, where you want like an alert when it crosses developing month value or whatever? For the high volume bar indicator, for example, I'm just using more and then add alert and then set it, right? Once per minute when it reaches the Z-score alert. That's the one that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of utilizing the trading web feature with, like send alerts through Discord or whatever. Either way, let me just finish it up, by the way. So what am I looking at heading into next week? What I think are going to be the important things. As you guys might have remember, we have the naked point of control here. That's what we had on TPO, okay? All right, bro. We had a naked point of control. We have the previous month value area low, right? Do you guys remember this candle? Whereas this should have been the low for continuation higher. We have the 3-month composite value area low. That's the value area low from the 3 months of consolidation from here, right? All of this right there. So going forward, I think it is very safe to assume that our higher time frame bearish line in the sand is what? It's the composite value area low from the previous distribution from the last 3 months, okay? Any move back above 93K, and I think Bitcoin is going to be flying, right? But until then, it's looking bad because we failed to reclaim the distribution composite. We failed to hold the previous month value area low. Previous quarterly VWAP is somewhere here as well. So it's looking rough. It's looking like compression into previous year value area high, where we might spike the lows once more. The only reason, or the only, reason why I think we could be getting some upside is when we treat this as a range low, range high, and we have an anomaly here. We've got a previous low. We have H4 support, H4 down close candle like that, right? If this is bullish, I'll be looking for a sweep into the naked point of control to clean up the anomaly, but it needs to close back above previous year value area high. Depending on what type of trader you are, I'd say 4-hour chart, 1 hour or 30-minute chart. Don't go lower than a 30-minute bar, right? For a 30-minute time frame, I would prefer to see, for example, I want to see a 4-hour close above. On the 30-minute chart, it could look like this, where we start trading into the level, consolidation, spike it, and then boom, right? And the reason why in this case I'm waiting and I'm not getting long here is because this is very important to me. Because if the market is trading below, this then becomes intraday bearish line in the sand, right? Because if we're trading back below previous year value high, then you can bet your ass that this becomes resistance. So if this becomes a failed break within value, then it's game time, okay? Until then, it's going to be, for me, it's going to be a bit of a sit back and relax, where I'm like, I think in terms of a quality short, if I'm getting some weird anomaly that's boom above all of these highs for some reason, I don't know why, maybe a big short squeeze into this supply and we close below previous month value low and the current, right, 3-day value low. This is the most recent 3 days merged together as a value area low right there, that value we accepted below. So this is resistance. So if we're getting a weird spike up without sweeping the lows, I'll be gunning short. Okay, so we could be getting this, accepts below, boom, back towards the lows. Conversely, take out the naked point of control, close back above previous year value high, and I'll be targeting these highs into previous month value low. That doesn't mean that I'm getting super, super bullish. It just means that I'm playing a rotation from one anomaly towards the next, okay? Besides that, I don't really have like an interest to be breakdown shorting it down here, right? I might set some stink bids here at the 365-day VWAP, or I'll be paying like close attention to any signs of a reversal there, because from a higher time frame perspective, in my opinion, this needs to hold right here. So if you're more like, I want to have like more of a lean back approach, wait until it does that on the daily, then I think it's, you know, it could do whatever the fuck it wants right here, but at that point we're going higher. Yeah, for this right here, it needs to be ideally like if we go towards a 30-minute bar, high volume bar, like if we're getting this, for example, right there, down here, then yeah, going to be a good fade, right? Or maybe this bar right here, we're getting it there, where we got a nice beefy down close candle taking out the naked point of control initially, and then the candle closes actually as this, with a big wick and a point of control at the low. At that point, I think we're getting a reversal back into the poor highs. And that's basically it for me. Keep in mind, there's no quality trades to be taken right now. It's just, you know, there's no real contextual level. I'd suggest you just wait for either previous year value, previous month value low, or the 365-day VWAP. And, you know, that's it for me. And with that, I would like to conclude the stream. And for those of you who've made it throughout the entire stream, please leave me a like. You can choose to follow me, so you will not miss the next stream. And, you know, I think we covered that all. That's a great question, because the 365 VWAP on Bybit is obviously different because it's a volume weighted average price. So volume on Bybit futures is going to be different than Coinbase, right? And to quickly answer the question, by the way, in terms of naked point of control, so if you go towards Sierra chart, a naked point of control is essentially a point of control that has not been revisited yet. All right, let's undo this real quick. I'll do all merges, and this one as well. I'll do all merges. So if we're taking a look at this chart here, as you can oh gosh. As you can see, majority of the time, the point of controls are rebalanced within the next day, right? The next day opens up, it tags the point of control, etc. When there's a lack of interaction with the point of control, it becomes a magnet, it becomes a draw on price, because that is why we named it Tetris, like just for shits and giggles, right? But if you remember, like the game Tetris, it's like it's a game that needs to be filling in all of the gaps. It needs to be efficient, not inefficient. And when we leave a naked point of control, the market will often come back down to rebalance it and then go for the next anomaly. In this case, that naked point of control, or that one, right? And that's it. It sounds really fancy, but it's not. Bro, my Sierra settings. Look, Sierra chart is different than extra charts, man. Look, TPO settings. I'm using a tick size of 110. And then let me show you. You can rewatch the stream, okay? Do you see the difference here with Sierra chart TPO and extra charts TPO? Do you see the amount of settings? Right. It's a volume weighted point of control. My value areas are based on time, and point of controls are based on volume for me personally. Because of, I think if you're merging merging days, then having a time-based value area is more important than a volume-based value area. But that's just personal preference. All right, guys, that's it. It's a wrap. Thank you all for attending the stream. Stay safe, everybody. And for those of you on the Discord, I will catch you guys tomorrow with another live stream, 9 a.m. UTC. All right, take care. Thanks all. Bye.